everybody, and welcome back to Slaughter Party.
Today's case.
This week's case is the Black Dahliah.
Elizabeth Short.
I know. Crazy, right? Elizabeth.
That's my middle name.
It's my middle name.
Same. Yeah, that's my middle name too.
Wait, really? Oh, wait, no.
No, not even.
No.
We don't talk about it. We don't talk about your middle name. So the Black Dahliah is actually from way back in the 1940s. 1947, I think it was.
That was like the day she died, I think.
Yeah.
1947?
Okay. So Elizabeth Short grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. Boston.
The witch trials. Okay,
That was
Salem. So she grew up there, and she grew up with two parents, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just like 50% of marriages in America, they split up. Cleo and Phoebe, Cleo's the dad, Phoebe's the mom. Cleo actually moved all the way across the country to California.
Sunny California.
San Francisco.
She went to San Francisco first because her dad was like, hey, if you like come over here, you can like clean and cook for me. And
Yeah, but she did not follow up on that.
Yeah.
No. She spent literally all she had to do was go clean and cook. And her dad would let her live there rent free. But she decided she was going to go out every single night.
she wanted a hot girl summer.
She wanted a hot girl summer, and that's what she was going to get.
And who could blame her?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Did you hear the beep?
Yeah. Okay, so once her dad kicked her out because she wasn't holding up her end of the deal, she moved down to sunny San Diego, down in California, and
She found Dorothy.
yeah, she was just chilling, and she hit it out with this woman named Dorothy.
Were they together?
Not
Like
romantically.
together?
Oh, yeah.
No, I think they just lived. Like they met, and they were like, "Yeah, girl, we are so slayed together. I'm gonna move in." And Dorothy was like, "Hell yeah,
In San Diego.
come move in." And
But yeah, Elizabeth moved in with Dorothy. You know, things were chill. And then all of a sudden, one day Dorothy's like, no, not Dorothy. Elizabeth is like, hey, Red is coming to pick me up. I'm out of here. You look like you have strong opinions about Red.
Yeah, Red.
what are you thinking, Caitlin?
Nothing. I just, I feel like it really was him, even though it's still unsolved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It was him.
I think it might have been. So Red picked up Elizabeth and
In a
she was-
1938
something coupe.
Studebaker.
Studebaker coupe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At least he has something.
He picked her up, and then like I think it was
She's gone.
2 days later.
2 days
So
is when they
long.
went to the motel and found out his real name. Or at least that's when they had, like, he had checked in.
Alright, so and when she left in the Studebaker coupe, couple days or maybe even the next day later, a woman and her daughter are just taking a walk through their suburb, and in an empty lot, they look over and they see what they think at the time
He was a mannequin.
is a mannequin.
Yeah.
Because of her
see them.
very pale complexion, and just like you wouldn't believe that's real if you saw what they saw that day. They basically saw Miss Elizabeth cut in half. Pieces of her flesh were cut off. Organs of hers were removed and put places they shouldn't be.
And she was drained of blood. There was no blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she had Joker lacerations on the side of her cheeks.
The Glasgow smile.
Yeah.
She also had a game of tic-tac-toe on her right hip.
Yep, it was.
That's sickening.
Yeah, it's sick. They carved a game of tic-tac-toe into her hip. Her pubic area was like basically ravished like crazy. Yeah, this woman was just not in any state.
Yeah,
Okay.
whoever did this was a sadistic creature.
Yep.
Like, if there was any questioning about, like, who did it, like, say they got the guy who they think it is, and, like, they're putting him on trial, like, there's no way that, like, it was an accident.
Yeah.
You
No.
have to think about think about that.
The girl was cut in half and drained of blood.
No, literally, and also like the game of tic-tac-toe. Like, if you're gonna take time to do that.
Yeah, that's just malicious at that point. So, obviously, this blows up, and they're searching for the suspects for who killed Miss Girl here. And so they look into this Red character, and they see that he has, like, basically fled to, where did he flee to again?
First, they check like the surrounding motels, and then they find a guy who checked in with a 1938 Studebaker coupe under the name Robert.
Robert.
So now they are on the lookout for Robert, and they find a Robert, and he has like been living with his friend Henry. It's Henry or Harry?
Henry.
And so now they go look into this guy's place, and no one's home. And they take a little peek in the garage, and they find the 1938 Studebaker coupe. And so they stake out there for 2 whole days until they come back.
Mind you, they are somewhere else. Like, they have left the entire, like, residency of San Diego, completely left, and are somewhere else now. And they sit for 2 days just waiting for them to return, and once Robert finally does return, they take him into custody and run polygraph tests on him, but they all come back clean. He passes every single one. So
no dirt.
They don't have anything on him, so they have to let him go.
I don't trust them.
Yeah, I don't
This
trust
has
him.
not been
Yeah. That's just so
like,
weird.
it can't be decided because of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like the polygraph tests back then weren't as accurate as they are now.
Yeah, but that's all they had back then to
True.
go off of. But they even are less reliable than they are now, and we can't, like, form an opinion off a polygraph test now. Like,
Right.
that's something that you can't do.
Right. So yeah, there's a lot of controversy about it.
Yep, there's controversy about Robert and all of that. And while this is happening, many, many, many people are confessing to this murder. I think it said that there was, like, 60 confessions, like, ongoing confessions, and, like, looking into these suspects at one point, and that's just crazy. Like, obviously, all 60 of you did not kill this woman.
Yeah, what were they
Like,
trying to gain?
Literally,
No,
what are you
literally.
trying to
You
gain?
cannot get clout
They're
from
making
that.
it harder to
Exactly.
find the actual killer.
It's just wasting time, money,
Mhm.
resources.
But finally, some friends and patients of Dr. George Hodel saw this girl's face in the newspaper and was like,
I know
hey,
her.
yeah, I know her. Like, I've seen her coming in and out of this guy's apartment. Like, they know each other. They know each other.
They know each other.
They do know each other.
Like, rumors are that they were, like, courting. Like,
Yeah.
not exactly dating, but, like, close enough.
They were talking.
Robert and Elizabeth?
Yeah.
No, George and Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah. George and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And he's a, like, Hollywood doctor.
Yeah.
George
And so
is
it
making
would,
big bucks.
it would definitely make sense how he knew how to sever this girl's body in many, many ways.
Right.
Even the cut going through her abdomen was a certain type of cut that they teach you in, like, medical school.
Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And so they do a little checking in on this George guy, and nothing. So, like, oh, George. There you go.
Oh, stash.
Kind of looks like Borat.
He looks like Hitler, so
Okay.
that's number one.
So, they bug his house, and
They do.
they're hearing some suspicious things.
They are. They're hearing screaming, like women screaming.
It's a little sus. He is suspect.
He is suspect.
He might be the imposter.
He's sus. He's sussy, if you will.
So, not only do they hear women screaming, but he has a little talk or phone call with his little secretary, and he's like,
No, it's not to his secretary because
"Oh yeah, because she."
in the
okay.
phone call he's
Yeah.
like,
So what if I killed the Black Dahlia? They wouldn't have any proof.
yeah, they can't talk to my secretary because she's dead. So
yeah, and she had recently died.
yeah,
Yeah.
she recently died from a
Like,
drug overdose. but obviously he knows more than he's putting on. Okay, so
And I'm sure he has access to all kinds of drugs.
yep, because
Absolutely.
he's a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And they gotta like put you under for surgery.
And also, his son even comes out. I think after he'd already died though, and his son comes out and he's like, "Yep, my dad did it. He's killed multiple people."
Yeah, he studied him, didn't he?
Yeah, he like researched
Didn't he
him.
write a book?
Yeah,
too?
was
Yeah.
he the guy that was
Because he was,
against
like-
Al Capone, or
He
is
was
that?
like a cop or
I have no
something.
clue.
Yeah, the cop that like went against Al Capone. Like it was his biggest rival. I think he also studied the Black
Probably.
Dahliah.
I did not know that.
And the Cleveland torso killer.
Probably.
Go up, Taylor.
Literally.
I think.
Slay.
I could be wrong.
You be
Do
the
not
judge of
fact
that.
check us.
You be the judge of
But
that.
yeah, there's like books.
I knew there was at
What
least
was the
one.
cop's name?
Steve Hodel.
Steve.
Or Hoddle. I don't know.
I feel like it's Hodel.
Huddle.
It definitely is Hodel because that just sounds better.
Yeah, I feel like that's a last name.
Yeah, that's the last name for sure.
But unfortunately, this case unsolved.
It's still cold. Another lady came out and was like, me and the Black Dahlia had like a relationship happening, and like we had fought, and I think this lady like woke up one day and there was just blood covering her clothes, and she did not know what had happened. So
She went to the police.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Hey guys, I committed the Black Dahlia murder."
yeah, that's something to take into consideration.
And they were like,
Sure, yeah, you did.
yeah, sure. And she was like, "No, I know something about this case that like only the killer would know." And at the time, this was not released to the public, but some hair was cut off of her head and then placed in the nether regions. And the cops were like,
It's not funny.
"It's not." I think my use of nether regions was a little humorous. But the cops were like, "How do you know that?" So then they did some tests on her, nothing came back, and yeah, turns out her name was Kristen. Kristen was dating one of the cops, and the cops told Kristen, so Kristen knew this information, didn't actually kill her.
Yeah, so that was basically pushed off the table. But this man right here, not pushed off any tables. I'm saying he's the killer.
He's pushed people off of tables.
He probably
So,
strapped him
yeah.
to him too.
I mean,
Like,
true.
I'm
All
putting.
points to
He
him.
is my table. Okay, he's my table.
Ed Gein?
And he,
His lampshade.
his lampshade. So, any final thoughts, guys?
Well, I think we should talk about how it's believed to be. Wait, no. The
Oh,
Cleveland torso killer and the Black Dahlia are believed to be
Oh.
linked.
He didn't do his dad thing again. The dad didn't care.
Oh.
And they also, like, when they told her mom that, she was dead, they pretended like she was, like, won a pageant at first. They called her and was like, yeah, like, she won a beauty pageant, like, we need some of her information. And
I did
then
not
when,
know that.
when they had, like, gassed her up and everything, they were like, yep, JK, she's dead. And she was brutally mutilated and left in a parking lot.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. And her dad didn't even give a hoot. They showed up at his house.
wasted.
He was wasted, and he was like, okay,
Okay.
why are you here? Matthew? Bleep that out. But anyways, final thoughts?
Well, not gonna lie, I think it's George.
I think it's George too, guys. Let's put it all on Georgie here.
Because
I mean,
like,
look at him.
yeah, Robert is suspicious, but I feel like he was just like, kind of like a middleman.
Yeah, it's just the things.
He could have delivered her to
things that
George.
just like him being a doctor just would make so much easier. Like
Yeah.
the blood draining. Like come on.
Like George just seems not
And
George.
in
how
the
there was
torso
just-
killers, the blood was drained from their bodies too. So, and this guy the son said he killed like multiple people, not just Elizabeth Short.
It's always serial.
It always
it's never
is.
just killer.
Like they're pinning him in this as just a killer, but he could just be a deranged serial killer for all we know. And I mean, he's dead now, but he was just chilling out before, so
Yeah.
that's not very cool of them.
It kind of reminds me of the American Horror Story asylum doctor guy.
You literally,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
I love that season. Asylum's so good.
Scary.
Too.
I feel like never trust someone with like a color name.
A color?
Literally,
Yeah.
red.
Red.
Also,
Yeah.
don't go off with some guy you just met. Please.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
tell.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of The
Slaughter
Slaughter
Party.
Party. Black Dahliah, crazy, cold case.
Tell us your opinions in the comments.
Tell us who
That was
you
always
think
interesting.
did it,
Let us
because
know.
like, give us your theories, please, because we obviously don't have one of our own, except George did it. But yeah, stay blessed, and yeah.